Welcome wherever and whenever you are to the State of Joy. I'm Scott, your Joyful Leadership Coach and guide on the path of joy. So today I was asked when I was with a group of people, what makes joyful leadership different to any other form of leadership? Because ultimately, when we look at leadership styles and the plethora of approaches to leadership out there, what makes joyful leadership stand out? What makes it unique? What makes it, ultimately an impactful style of leadership that is markedly different, I suppose, to a lot of others? In lots of ways, it's similar, but there are some differences, and it's in those differences that it really stands out, and that's because most approaches to leadership are skill sets. They're learned skills, they're a tool set, they are a framework or a formula you follow in order to get from A to B and get a result. Most leadership approaches, and you could probably call most of them management approaches, to be honest, they tend to focus on outcomes, on KPIs, on performance, on results, solutions and results. Joyful leadership is essentially a way of being. Joy itself is a state of being. It's a parasympathetic state. It's a powerful state of our being. It's how we function, how we approach the world, how we integrate ourselves into our daily lives, if we choose to. So fundamentally, it's not about what we do, it's about who we are and how we interact in the world. That is the key difference. Joyful leadership is, I suppose, joy as a foundation, but it encourages creativity, it encourages compassion, curiosity, playfulness. It's an approach that doesn't have a blueprint or a framework or a step-by-step plan in order to learn it. You don't get a certificate at the end to say you're a joyful leader. It is a journey that is experiential, that being that you have to work through and live it and express it and become joyful to be a joyful leader. And nobody gives you the title. It is just something you do in your everyday. You integrate it into your being, into how you live in the world. It is principles based. So there are some principles that we use as guideposts, as markers to say, not that we're ticking boxes, but are we on the right path? Are we aligned with joyful leadership? And those principles are awareness, they are alignment, they are community, they are joy, and they are presence. And then it's no particular order, it's just that's how they are. They're just there as a holistic whole, and they come together to create a way of interacting with people and communicating and putting yourself out there in the world that is markedly different to most approaches in the leadership world with the status quo and how business is done today. Joyful leadership, in terms of the principles, is focused on compassion, on caring, and communicating. Because at the end of the day, leadership, the core of leadership is about communication. It's about having a vision, being able to share that, and getting the trust and the buy-in, I suppose. Well, not even buy-in, but just it's the trust, it's the alignment with the people around you when you share that vision. So you could say, in a way, it's human-centric, in that we, as joyful leaders, focused on collaborating, on communicating, on building relationships. And because it's a state of being, it's energetic. It's an energy-based approach. It is a fundamental part of who we are. It also encourages awareness, self-awareness, awareness of others, awareness of the world around you. It encourages personal growth, self-development, and an authenticity that comes from within you. It's not an external, somebody doesn't give you the title of joyful leader. You know, you don't get a position or a plaque on the door. You step into the role of a joyful leader by choice, by choosing to be who you are and how you show up every day. And that is an authenticity that you can't fake. You just have to be yourself. And having a state of joy as your foundation amplifies who you are. It allows you to communicate your essence, your beliefs, your values, and your vision to the people around you. It encourages inclusion. It encourages connection and trust. It just in a world that is marked with quiet quitting, with burnout, with disconnection and stress, it's a source of joy and a way of showing up in the world that impacts the people around you and has a positive effect on the culture and the world, and is really just a better way to be. If we can be more curious, more compassionate, more creative, and more courageous in showing up as ourselves authentically, then why not? What's wrong with being an authentic leader, a joyful leader, a compassionate leader, a creative leader, and you don't have to be at the top of the hierarchy. You could be just another worker at your desk, but how you choose to show up impacts the people around you. And that is the essence of joyful leadership. So if you've got a vision for the world around you, for the organisation you're in, and again, it doesn't matter if you're at the bottom of the hierarchy, again, which is another, in my opinion, obsolete idea. But if that's where you are, then that's fine. You can choose to show up as a leader, starting today, starting tomorrow, starting whenever you walk in the door, or even before when you get out of bed. You make a choice on how you show up. And what you believe in and who you want to be. So stay curious, lead with joy, and shift the culture.